Hello, Serge here from the back porch. Recently I just did a daily lesson about playing in cool weather, and it brought up the fact that a few days ago I gave a lesson to a gentleman from Switzerland who told me he lives somewhere near San Moritz, which he already left because they already had about 2 feet of snow up there, and so he came over to the States here where he lives down in Fort Lauderdale for most of the winter time so he can keep playing golf, because he's an avid golfer. I mean, he just really lives to play golf, and he's in his middle to late 30s, scratch golfer, and he came down and took about a full day lesson with me, with him and his wife. And the key is he'd been onto the Peak Performance golf swing, and he felt it was really helping him out, hitting the ball the best he's ever hit it, and getting his scores lower, as well as getting much more consistent. But since he was in Fort Lauderdale and I was down in Port St. Lucie doing a PGA golf school, our Peak Performance golf school, he actually called and set up some time to spend with me for him and his wife. And so the key was when we met, we got his bio and all the things he does, and how serious he is about the game of golf, what he works on. And when it was time for me to start my D&P form, that is a diagnosis and prescription form, he started hitting golf balls. And the first thing I noticed, that while he was hitting and his wife was hitting, we had two different personalities here. She was calm and laid back, potentially as a very good player, single digit for her game also, but she practiced like I think most people should practice, with a good pace, basically to the slow side, diligent, practice swings and everything else. But he hit balls like he thought he was a machine gun. I mean, he was like rapid fire. Even when I was doing my diagnosis, I mean, he could just hit balls, and he'd hit a ball, and the thing was still in the air, and he's already rolling over another ball and hitting it. And I mean, he was just firing them off. And so at some point, after I finished my diagnosis of him, and then I took the diagnosis of his wife, we sat down and talked afterwards, and we went over the issues, we looked at the videos. But when we came back in the afternoon, and I started to work on the corrections with his wife, her prescription, he started hitting balls, and I mean, he was doing it even faster. I mean, it was unbelievable. It's obvious he was all about speed and just firing one after another, and just rapid fire. And so I immediately at that point stopped the lesson, and I said, "Are you always like this?" He says, and his wife said, "Absolutely. He hits balls faster than anybody I've ever seen." She said it was like he has a mission to get rid of that stack of balls as fast as he can. Now, it's obvious in speaking with him, he's a type A, high D personality, and he lets that into his golf game. But I mean, he's really serious. So I told him that practice isn't about the quantity of balls we hit, it's about the quality. It's about taking your time and thinking about what you're doing and paying attention to what you're doing. You can't be thinking about it and paying attention if after every time you hit a ball, especially if you hit a poor shot, that ball is still in the air and you've already raked one over and you're settling and you're stepping into the ball to get ready to hit the next one. Well, what's our situation always been? What's the main point to learning a good golf swing and getting consistent is quality practice. Quality means you pay attention. And you know, when we talk about, when I talk about practice swings on the golf course as well as the range, I'm always saying I get into my good grip, a good stance, good posture, good setup all the way, and I try to make a perfect practice swing, because perfect practice makes perfect. And when I make my practice swing, what am I doing? I'm trying to feel the setup and the swing, and then when I feel that swing that I want, I then step up, and my goal of every hit on the golf course and the range, if I did this, is to feel the swing. So I feel the swing, and then I swing the feel on hitting the ball. And I always say that in practicing, you never, ever should hit another ball after a bad swing if you haven't made a good setup and swing to feel the good swing that you know you have to hit a good shot. Raking a ball over and just hitting another one rapid fire right out, while the other ball is in the air or just barely stopped, and you have not made a practice swing to feel the good swing, you're basically wasting your time, and in fact proving bad movement, because what are you going to use to hit it? The last one you just hit lousy? So I brought up to him and I said, look, I want you to think about practice as quality, not quantity. Do you need to hit 100 good drives or just 10 good drives or any shot? wedges or whatever. Quality, not quantity. I want you to think about rapid firing like a machine gun as ball beating. I said, it's against the law everywhere we go to beat your wife or beat your kids, and I'm going to pass the law right here for you that says beating balls is the same thing. It's against the law. It's against the law of quality practice. So I made him raise his right hand and take an oath that he wouldn't be a ball beater anymore. And his wife kind of joked, and she says, you know what? She said, I think I'd rather call him a ball banger, because when you're doing that, all he's doing is banging them out there. So ball beater, ball banger, whatever you want. If you want to be better, improve your golf swing and improve your game and become more consistent to shoot the lowest scores you want to shoot, quality practice is the name of the game, not quantity. Don't get caught up in just beating balls and beating a certain number. You're out for quality, and please promise me, raise your right hand right now. If you're on the range practicing, and as well as on the golf course, and you've hit a bad shot, you don't hit another shot, range or course, until you've made a good setup and a good swing, practice setup and swing, to feel the feel, so that you can stand up and then swing the feel. Well, that's it for the search today on quality practice and playing by going after quality, not quantity. I'll be talking to y'all again soon.